gotta be bold. This story gotta be told. On your fierceness, going and glow. This the Sonja Empower Show. Stay on go like a lion who on the prowl. Send your cells, help you get it. We doing it and doing it now.
Hey, Empower Disruptors. Welcome back to the Sonja Empower Show, where I ignite your online business and help you own your fierceness. Embrace your unique beauty, talents, and strengths. Rise above fear and step into your destiny as you build empires and shatter expectations together. Today, we're tackling a silent killer of dreams, a sneaky saboteur that whispers lies when you're on the brink of greatness. Imposter Syndrome. Yes, let's talk about it. As online entrepreneurs, we are constantly pushing boundaries, innovating, and stepping into uncharted territories. It's a wild ride, y'all, full of triumphs and tough lessons. But often in those quiet moments, or right before a huge launch, that nagging doubt creeps in. Am I really good enough? Am I going to be exposed as a fraud? This week, we're diving deep into strategies to silence that inner critic and empower you to embrace your success with the fierce confidence you deserve. What the heck is imposter syndrome? And why does it haunt us? We hear the term imposter syndrome so much, but what exactly is it? At its core, it's that persistent internal experience of believing you're not as competent as others perceive you to be. It's feeling like a fraud despite undeniable evidence of your skills and accomplishments. You might attribute your success to luck, charm, or even trickery rather than your actual talent and hard work. These feelings can be absolutely paralyzing, leading to crippling anxiety, endless over preparation, or soul crushing procrastination. So, why does this happen? Why do so many entrepreneurs at various stages of their journey feel this way? Because believe me, it's not just for emerging entrepreneurs, those just starting out, right? No, it happens to seasoned entrepreneurs as well. Well, it often stems from a combination of factors. Perfectionism. We set impossibly high standards for ourselves, and when we inevitably fall short of perfect, that inner critic pounces. External validation seeking. We rely too much on outside approval. And when it's not present, or if feedback is anything less than glowing, we doubt ourselves. Comparing upward. In the highlight reel of social media, we constantly compare our messy behind the scenes to everyone else's polished front stage. The knowledge gap fallacy. As entrepreneurs, we're constantly learning new things. That feeling of not knowing everything can get misinterpreted by our brains as a sign we're not truly capable. And let's get real about another pervasive trigger. The pressure some of us feel when we're still working a full-time job while diligently building our business. Can anyone relate? People might make us feel inadequate, or we might internalize that inadequacy as if building on the side somehow diminishes our entrepreneur status. But let me tell you, that narrative is garbage. Absolutely garbage. Okay? When you're strategically laying the groundwork for your business while maintaining a steady income, you are not an imposter, my sister, my queen, my lioness. You are a strategic visionary creating your exit strategy on your own terms. Let me repeat that. Rewind. You are a strategic visionary creating your exit strategy on your own terms. You are building financial runway, gaining valuable experience, and demonstrating incredible discipline. That, my friends, is not just competence. That's fierce. Understanding that imposter syndrome is a shockingly common experience, even among the most successful, brilliant entrepreneurs you admire. And yes, especially those navigating multiple pathways to success. It's the first vital step toward overcoming it. Okay. So don't think that you're the only one that felt this way. I felt this way before too, and I had to overcome that. I know I have been surrounded by successful entrepreneurs. I mean, where their company is generating in the millions every year. And yet, they sometimes have that imposter syndrome feeling creep up on them. So you're not alone. All right. Oh, the question is, are you ready to shut down that fraud voice and step into your full power? All right. I'm hoping you're saying yes. If so, here are 4 sizzling strategies to conquer imposter syndrome. Build your brag board. Yep, this isn't about ego, it's about undeniable proof. Make a physical or digital list of all your accomplishments, big and small, every client win, every successful launch, every problem solved, every positive piece of feedback. Do it. Reflect on the sheer hard work, dedication, and unique creativity that led to these successes. When that inner critic starts whispering, pull out your brag board and literally ground your self perception in reality. You are competent. You are good enough. Reframe failure as rocket fuel. The fear of making mistakes or outright failing can crank up imposter syndrome to 11, okay? But here's the truth. Failure, once again, I've shared this before, is just data. It's feedback. Shift your perspective to view challenges as opportunities for growth. Remember, every single successful entrepreneur you look up to has faced epic setbacks, all right? What sets them apart is their fierce resilience and their unwavering willingness to learn from every single one. Embrace the mess, embrace the lesson. Find your no imposters here tribe. Okay? You don't have to fight this battle alone. Sharing your feelings with trusted peers, mentors, or even a coach can be incredibly liberating. You'll quickly discover that many, if not all of them, have experienced similar doubts and fears. These conversations provide perspective, much needed support, and sometimes brilliant strategies you hadn't considered. Just knowing you're part of a shared human experience diminishes the power of those isolated doubts. And believe me, I have been there, and just having that trusted tribe, right? You'll be surprised that if the feedback is, you know what, I totally get it. I was there at one point too, right? So never be afraid, all right, to share your feelings with your trusted source. And lastly, embrace the progress, not perfection principle. This is key. Imposter syndrome thrives on the myth of perfection, making us feel like anything less than flawless is failure. Crazy, but true. But chasing perfection is a trap. Instead, commit to progress over perfection. Focus on taking consistent, imperfect action. Celebrate the small wins, the lessons learned, and every single step forward. When you release the pressure to be perfect, you create space for authentic growth and silence that inner voice demanding an impossible standard. And this is true because I'm telling you, these podcasts, um, they are so liberating. Every episode is so liberating to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I've created so much, right? Just by being consistent. And most of the time, I am stumbling on my words. I'm just stumbling on my words, but I don't let that, stop me from jumping back in the game and creating a new podcast episode, because let me tell you, most people, when they talk, they don't always talk with the perfect pronunciation and never stumble over their words, or, they delete words like and and like. Just listen intently the next time you're in a conversation with someone, right? Listen intently when you're on a webinar or a podcast or just conversations that you hear in the restaurant. Like, no one just talks perfect all the time, right? And so I love, and look forward to recording the podcast and pouring it into each and every one of you, regardless of how I sound, words sometimes that I know I can pronounce, but then when it comes time to recording, it just I stumble over that word. And I'm like, oh, well, the show must go on and I'm not going to edit that out. I am human. So, with that being said, please embrace the progress, not perfection principle. All right, it is time for your fab assignment. Okay, we are doing it. We just don't talk about it. We do it. And I include these fab assignments, these fierce action breakthrough assignments, to where if you never ever ever invest in any training program I have or services I offer, you can listen to each episode and you can walk away with actionable steps that you can implement. Okay. So it's my little mini gifts to each and every one of you. All right. So, with that being said, your mission, should you choose to accept, is actively build your brag board and use it to challenge your inner critic. Man, have fun with this. I am going to do the same, you know what I'm saying, and start building out my brag board, because it's just a brilliant way to remind yourself of what you have overcome and achieved. All right. So, first, create your board on a physical whiteboard, in a digital document, or even in a dedicated journal. List at least 10 achievements you've had in your business. Be specific, include the effort you put in and the positive outcomes. All right. So don't say, like, oh my gosh, I'm just starting out and I haven't accomplished anything. Okay. Come on now. You've taken that idea to, it could be something as simple as you invested in a professional work email, right? That is a huge accomplishment, right? It may have been where you created a social media account, okay? But it could also be where you have secured another client, or you created another product, So come on now, get those creative caps on. Think you have achieved more than what you're giving yourself credit for. All right, next, face the critic. So the next time that voice of doubt creeps in, or you feel like a fraud, immediately refer to your brag board. Read through your accomplishments out loud. Next, journal the shift. After reviewing your board, take 2 minutes to write down how your feelings or perspective shifted, even slightly. This isn't about one and done. It's about building a consistent habit of acknowledging your undeniable worth. Remember, imposter syndrome is often a sign that you're pushing beyond your comfort zone. Okay. And that, my friends, is exactly where growth and innovation happen. You have to step outside your comfort zone. I've said it once, I've said it twice, I will continue to say it. Your comfort zone is nothing more than a self-made prison. So you have to break free from that self-made prison so that you can walk in your fierceness. You can walk in that fierce era. And when you're walking in that fierce era, you're going to experience growth. I promise you, innovation is going to happen. Creativity is going to happen. Impact is going to increase. Trust me on this. Whether you are all in or strategically building your empire alongside a full-time gig, you are not an imposter. You are a powerful, successful online entrepreneur. Now go out there and own it. All right. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Sonja Power Show. I'd love to hear your feedback. Leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Connect with me on social media. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe. For more business empowerment resources, visit sonjasales.com. And for additional resources on personal growth and inspiration, visit chocolatedropinspired.com. Until next time, Empower Disruptors, break free, be fierce.